From giant man-eating worms to sadistic serial killers. Here are the top 5 scary Trevor Henderson creatures that should be in a horror movie part 2. Number 5 on this list is Pumpkin. In the first part of this Trevor Henderson series, we gave the top spot on the list to a character named Fencer. Fencer is part of the category of Trevor Henderson characters that are labeled the slashers. This entry right here, Pumpkin, is also part of that group. Pumpkin is apparently a normal human who happens to suffer from some physical deformities. He's much shorter than average, very plump, and surprisingly bulky for how short he actually is. He has horrible posture and is always hunched over. Now this could be because there's something wrong with his upper half. It appears from the pictures the Trevor has drawn of him that Pumpkin doesn't have any neck to speak of, and his head just kind of seamlessly transitions into his fat body. He's always wearing the same dirty plaid shirt and the same creepy, sad looking orange mask. Now we aren't exactly sure what this mask is made of, because maybe it could have been carved out of a pumpkin, or maybe it's just something orange. We're not fully sure about that. Either way, Pumpkin definitely isn't much of a looker, and it doesn't help when this dude is always wielding a very sharp, jaded, and bloodied machete. The thing about Pumpkin, which is somewhat different from other slashers, that he doesn't necessarily go out hunting for his victims. They need to come to him. It's believed that Pumpkin lives on a farm and grew up in a family with extremely violent tendencies. He's an adult now and the only lasting remaining family member on this farm to our knowledge. It's said that anybody who trespasses on his farm becomes his victim. He isn't necessarily gruesome about it, but he will hurt you until the job is done. I think this could make for a very interesting stop in the journey of somebody during a horror movie. If they find themselves like at this farm for whatever reason and it just happens to be Pumpkin the serial killer's farm, then they need to either last the night on his farm or defeat him or something like that. I love the slasher characters and I think the Pumpkin could definitely make a good one in a horror film. Number 4 on this list is Treehead. Treehead is believed to be in the category of Henderson characters known as the Giants. These creatures are, as you would imagine, pretty giant. Treehead is no exception to this rule and is believed to stand at roughly 1,000 feet tall. The Trevor Henderson wiki says it has quite a large torso with 3 visible lumps, perhaps ribs showing through skin. This is connected to 2 thick forwards bending legs. It also has 2 large arms that are connected to its body by pointy shoulder blades. On the tip of its arms are these weird skeletal hands containing 3 fingers with sharp claws and 1 thumb-like digit that appears to lack any claws and is typically positioned between the other 3 digits. Its entire hand seems to be made out of jagged bones with little to no tissue except for maybe the thumbs. Undoubtedly, this is the most interesting part of this creature, however, its massive, disturbing head. It is comprised of many large human-like heads with long hairs like that of a woman, giving it the appearance of a typical depiction of a tree, hence its name. And these heads are small, glowing white eyes that look in many directions. It also has strange tentacle-like tendrils coming out of its head that are supposed to be these thick hairs. So that's what this creature looks like, but what does it actually act like? Well, we're not entirely sure. We think that it might be timid, but that's just a guess. Even if it is a timid creature, I think that that could still work. Right now in the real world, climate change is a huge problem. I think that you could make an exceptional horror movie with this creature whilst also making a good statement towards our planet. Maybe have some people visit a different world where these creatures are native to that planet, and then as the humans do things to that planet, have these creatures start to become vicious. Or they could live on Earth with us and start getting violent and a team of scientists have to figure out why before they kill us all. I feel like there's some real environmental apocalypse horror movie vibes with Treehead and I think it could work. Number 3 on this list is the bridge worm. These worms are extremely gross and super scary. Trevor Henderson's wiki describes them as a long, scary-like entity that is known for hiding under long interstate highway bridges. However, it has been found to hide under small bridges, supposedly using a safe house tactic to travel long distances without being spotted. The entity's arms are long at a recorded distance of 9 feet. It has bone-like fingers similar to humans, but it's far more flexible. It has 2 sets, one at the back and one at the front. It can be female. It uses a flap of flesh to trick prey, which has a fake face that has a small, black, tiny slits for its eyes and a small but neutral facial expression mouth, which makes it approachable. Underneath that flap, it reveals a horrific grin on its face with 36 human-like teeth. The nose is similar to a human's underneath the skin, proving the fact that the flap is its skin. The tissue on the bridgeworm's real face is cellular and near identical to humans, but has some flaws. The eyes of the bridgeworms are extremely misaligned and disorienting as they bounce around while running. Usually this fake flap peels back like an eyelid when chasing someone. It's also semi-translucent, which is the reason that they can see from it. Bridgeworms also instinctually hunt at night inside tunnels or on bridges. Now here's the thing, guys, I don't know if you could make an entire horror movie with just these things being the main problem, but I could definitely see them being a serious obstacle in another movie. Let's imagine a film where some evil aliens wanted to take over the planet. Well, maybe one of the first things that they do is release these bridgeworms on the planet without people realizing. Then slowly but surely these creatures eat away at the population. Careful going under bridges, guys, the bridgeworm could be waiting for you. Number 2 on this list is Mr. Mascot. Mr. Mascot isn't included in the slashers category, but he really should be. His appearance, as described by Trevor Henderson's wiki, is as follows. Mr. Mascot is a creature dressed in a blue bug mascot costume. The creature's clothing has long fluff, a large body, and slender arms and short legs. The arms of the costume are 5 fingers just like normal people, and the legs of the creature are like the legs of a beast. They look very thick and have 2 toes on the legs with sharp nails on the toes. The costume has a very large oval head with only empty eyes and a wide open mouth on the face. There's also a pair of slender antennae on the head. The creature also dragged the bloody body of a man wearing a white shirt with blood and a pair of jeans. The body's arms were held tightly by the creature. Whoever or whatever is in this thing likes to kill. From my understanding, it's just for the sake of killing as well. I think that there would be real potential for a horror movie that was extremely dark. A thriller where people need to find a serial killer after a series of murders, and it's Mr. Mascot who's behind it all. Kind of like Seven or the newest Batman, if you've ever seen any of those. And finally, number 1 on this list is Siren Head. I initially left this character off the first list because I wanted to show off some of Trevor's other creatures, but it doesn't feel right to leave it off of part 2. Simply put, Siren Head is the pinnacle of Trevor's work, and I would honestly be surprised if this creature doesn't get a horror movie at some point. Siren Head is perfect for a chilling camp-like tale where teenagers head into the woods and they start getting picked off. Maybe there's a park ranger who has a dark history where they lost their friend to Siren Head years ago and now they need to come and get this thing for good. If you're unfamiliar with what Siren Head is, then Henderson's wiki says it's a 12 meters tall humanoid creature with heavy emaciated near skeletal frame covered in dried mummified flesh with a color similar to rusted metal. Emaciated being with a pair of sirens. Capable of emitting various noises, both natural and man-made, including sirens, radio broadcasts, white noise, and human voices. This being can literally convince us that it's somebody that we know, and when we let our guard down, it's going to strike. Like, I think that would just be perfect for a potential movie where it's like, you're not sure, like, whether or not that noise is somebody or one of your friends, or I don't know, there's just so much potential. It's Trevor's most famous character for a reason, and I think it deserves its own movie. But there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 scary Trevor Henderson creatures that should be in a horror movie part 2. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this list, as well as some other scary Henderson creatures that you know about that you think deserve their own movie. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.